What's good with it, y'all? Welcome back to A1 Hoop Zone. Man, you already know what to do. Smash the like button, sub to the channel if you're new. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. As y'all notice, I'm back at the house, man, having to dip off to the side room to get this content out to y'all real quick. Don't worry, my babies are safe. They playing. They with the mom, so they cool right now. But I definitely wanted to get y'all my take on the situation. We just had the breaking news of Chris Paul. First off, Warriors waiving Chris Paul. Secondly, Chris Paul going to the San Antonio Spurs for 1 year, $11 million deal. Now, I think this is just a pit stop. Pit stop meaning that he's going to go there, see how it pans out. I think from the Spurs, I would say perspective, they're looking as if they have $11 million. You're going to bring in a veteran who can definitely, if he's not on the court, can mentor these young guys that they have because they have an extremely young, very young team. If I'm not mistaken, the Spurs are probably, if not the youngest or second youngest team in the NBA at this point. And you got a situation where you got a player like on the caliber of Wemby who has the upside that he has. You want to try and get an opportunity to get him in with a vet that can school him and teach him on the game and things of that nature. Now, we all know the San Antonio Spurs organization is one of the most historical franchises in the NBA. A lot of people say they as bland as just eating chicken with no flavor on it, however you want to put it. But end of the day, the Spurs organization walk the right way. They do things the right way, and they have shown success in doing such. Obviously, more notably under Coach Popovich's reign. So he's definitely in the right place. That's going to teach him the game the right way. It's just a matter of him being able to maximize it, understand how the game goes, evolve, and potentially take himself on to the next level, becoming a superstar. Which again, and results should hopefully land in some successful seasons. But with all that being said, man, Chris Paul, I think it's a pit stop. For the Spurs, they took him on the whim of if he's hurt, he can mentor, off the court. If he's playing on the court, that gives himself a great opportunity of having a floor general who can still get to his spots, score a little bit, has that high basketball IQ, and can give you those, big games in spurts and then moments, certain moments and things of that nature. So I think that's one of the things that the Spurs did by taking that chance on a 1 year, $11 million deal. On Chris Paul's side of things, I think he looked at it like, again, as a quick pit stop, seeing what he got to have, seeing what else he has left in the tank. Worst case scenario, he goes ahead and retires and he's walking away with a $11 million deal on a 1 year deal, which again, that's much more than the veteran minimum. So for him, it's a win-win either way. Second part of that is the Spurs do have the ability with the young roster they have and the moves that they're looking to make. They could bring in an additional talent like a Jimmy Butler or potentially land one of these other stars that's in free agency, and that could kind of twist the expectation, of the other Spurs and what the expectation is there. And we could be seeing ourselves in a situation where you got an extremely young team that's going to be making some noise in the West. So that's the hope, I would say. But from the perspective of that, yeah, it's not too significant. Again, Chris Paul, man, over the last few years here, he's just been extremely unlucky when it comes to being injured so often, all the time. And so that's the part where it kind of put a damper on CP3's career. Or when you look back on CP3, these young people nowadays only really remember him for probably being, injured every so often, or the State Farm Cliff Paul commercials. They don't remember the CP3 that was with New Orleans, or the CP3 that was balling in Houston, the CP3 that was giving buckets and OKC as well. Like or I would say notably with the Clippers as well. They don't remember that CP3. That CP3 was out there, one of the best four generals that the league has ever seen. Had full command over the ball as far as being a floor general, knocked down some tough game winning shots and things of that nature. Was a highly sought after point guard in the league at once upon a time. My Lakers with Cove and Paul Gasol, we almost was able to snag him to the Lakers, man. But the league vetoed that trade, so we got dipped out of that joint. Who knows, man? We might be having a whole different conversation about Chris Paul if he'd have went to the Lakers and been able to snag us some championships. So either way, at this point, man, I feel like again it's kind of a cash out, but then again, it's the last hoorah is seeing what else he has in the tank. If honestly, I think if he gets injured this year or just has a bad year altogether, I think we're going to see Chris Paul retire next year. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? D Wade's already went in and hit the exit button. A bunch of other players he's extremely close to hit the exit button. LeBron is kind of that last great friend of his or best friend of his that's still going, but LeBron is still able to play the game at an extremely high level, and he's been blessed with not being, littered with injuries and stuff like Chris Paul has. So for him and the Spurs, it could be one of those things, man. Again, a mentorship type of a role that he's going to take on with some young guards there, young players there, and with hopes of if they're able to somehow, some way sneak themselves into a play-in situation or anything like that, hope that CP3 can turn back the hands of time, and he can kind of lead a team to get past that point. The only issue I have with thinking that is he hasn't shown in the past that he can lead a team to the promised land. When he was with Phoenix, it was a prime opportunity for it, and he got hurt in the pivotal moment they needed him. So that's just been a track record when it comes to CP3, and the biggest time when you need him, he gets hurt. He's been hit with injuries nonstop. So this time around, that's kind of the saving grace, and them grasping at straws and hoping that's going to change. But that's my take on the Chris Paul signing with the San Antonio Spurs, man. So y'all, you didn't hear it here first, but you're hearing the reaction of it and my thoughts on it and what we're going to hear from it. And we're going to keep y'all updated on everything else that's going on in these trades, man. So if y'all haven't checked out all the videos, make sure you go check it out about the LeBron situation, about Bronny, about Paul George, Klay Thompson, all of these things. Y'all make sure you go check out all this content, man. I'm getting it out to y'all as quick as I can, giving y'all a different narrative and train of thought with it. You know what I mean? And we're gonna keep doing it. We're gonna keep building. But appreciate y'all coming through. Smash the like button, sub to the channel if you're new. Y'all already see that information right there. If you want to support the channel, you can do it that way. Otherwise, feel free to leave a super thanks. If you don't know what that is, bag out, hit that like button. Look 4 icons over to the right. It'll say thanks. Click that, follow the instructions, and you can support the channel that way, man. But again, I appreciate y'all coming through, and I'll be back with y'all another one. We out of here.